So it's like, okay, you're saying what you're saying, but you can't just say something and people not feel a type of way about it. People can't be upset about something that you're saying. It's like, what are we supposed to do? Like, I'm sorry. When
You
I
can
was,
feel however the fuck it is that you want to, but it's my constitutional right.
no one's taking that away. She's not going to jail. People are just
She just
holding
mad
her.
because people don't empathize with them as much as they
This is the
empathize with
thing.
us when we
We
do it.
talk
That's the
Now,
we
was
issue.
she
talk
mad
about
about it?
we
When did
talk
she
about
say that she was mad about
accountability,
it?
but we talk about accountability. What point does that accountability stop? Does that accountability stop because you have constitutional rights? No, it doesn't. What you say, we are going to hold you accountable for. So if you tell me to my face you are a racist, I'm going to think that everything that comes out of your face, out of your mouth, is going to constitute racism because you're telling me to my face I am racist. We cannot sit on these panels and talk about women need to vet better, women need to do better, but then when we hold a woman accountable for some shit that she's saying that's outlandish, we're going to sit up here and be like, oh, she's a woman. And there's her constitutional right to say that. That is her constitutional right to say that. But God damn it, what she's saying is wrong. What she's saying is stupid. And she's making a fool out of herself. And she deserves every repercussion that comes with that. Just like when you go to work and you say some stupid shit to a customer, your ass is going to get fired. You have the constitutional right to say it, but you're getting fucking fired for saying that shit to the customer and making the company look bad. That is exactly what's going to happen.
Who said that she shouldn't have to experience that? My point is that she can say that, and whatever comes with it, if she wants to deal with it, then so be it.
Do you know why the white lady was getting her home taken away?
Y'all are trying
she
too
threatened
hard.
the little black boy. You skipping over that. She threatened the little black boy. That's why the police got involved. And she admitted it on camera when the dude asked her about it. She threatened him. That's a crime. That's a crime. That ain't freedom of speech. That's a crime.
What did she threaten him and say?
He said that she threatened that she was going to put her hands on him, like remove him from, like, away from her child. You can't do that. That's against the law. You can't put your hands on somebody else's kid, bro. And it's a kid, bro. Like, it's a kid. It's not the same thing. It's not the same. And then you just mad because, yeah, I do agree with what you're saying, Viz. It is a right and wrong. I don't agree with black people doing it. I don't do it to white people. But at the same time, I do have this itch where I sit back and watch it happen, because now y'all white people mad that people not empathizing with the bullshit that y'all done put through to every race. Every race then said when they came up here at some point they endured some type of racial slander or belittling by white people when they're in their environments, and it makes some of them want to want their recognition more. So when they're being pandered, you're not gonna see a whole bunch of people sticking up for them. For what? They're the ones doing it to everybody else. They created this environment. So why the hell are it doesn't make sense. So when it happens to black people, yeah, people gonna be like, yeah, I feel where you coming from, because they be doing it to me too. Like, it's like the enemy of your enemy is my friend. You're not gonna see too many people sticking up for them. And that's why I as a white person feel like, oh, black people can say and do whatever they want to do, because yeah, we're the only ones bold enough to do it. And guess what? Other minorities feel like how we feel too. So that's their fault. Maybe they should be nicer.
And she,
I'm not
go ahead. What? I think she did complain about the ramifications. She clearly said verbatim, I do not want to live in a country where I cannot exercise freedom of speech without recourse. That's what she said, because she was complaining about the fact that this lady who had the feeling about the black little boy is now enduring ramifications for her slander.
She's trying to use the Constitution as an scapegoat to justify what she is saying. That is wrong. You cannot twist the Constitution to make it look like you can't say what you could say whatever the hell you want to say, but society is going to go ahead and make sure that you eat those motherfucking words.
That's my point.
And so I'm not saying that you're saying anything wrong. I'm just giving my standpoint, but I'm not saying that you're saying, okay, so if that's your point, then we're in agreement. Freedom of speech exists. You can say what you want, when you want, how you want, but you are going to have to eat those words. So speak wisely and think before you speak, because when you come on live television in front of a bunch of people, we're going to perceive you as exactly what you say. So whether you're being sarcastic or whether you're being genuine, it doesn't matter. You still said it. You have to eat it. You have to live through that. So now whatever comes with after that, that's entirely up to you. But don't sit up here and lie to the entire world saying, freedom of speech doesn't exist and we need to take our shit back. No, the hell it does exist, because if it didn't, your ass would have been arrested right after you said what you said. So don't sit up here and say that freedom of speech doesn't exist, because you can still go home, eat your food, and live freely. You're just not going to live as great of a life as you lived before because you said some outlandish shit.
That's not my point. I don't know why y'all not understanding that.
Let me say this. The bad thing about it is that she did it to a child. That's the sad part about it, in my opinion. That a child was a victim of this this verbal lashing this woman gave her, just, I guess, because his kid supposedly took her son's stuff from her. Look, she took the veil off her. We need to expose these type people. You need to expose them, and I'm okay with that. Now she let us know where she's staying, what side of the fence she on. Now we know. We adjust accordingly. That's all we can do. You're not gonna make rednecks gonna stop being racist. They're gonna be racist regardless if they say something, let it be known. They're gonna be racist if they don't let it be known. Doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So we just need to know what it is, and so allow the people to do what they need to do. You know, whether it's publicly shame them, bring it to people's attention, and make them feel some type of way because it said it. Yeah, do it. Do what we got to do. Put them out there. Put them on Front Street.
But that's my point, though. Again, we see a situation of where us during the BLM riots, where we tore up our own cities. I'm from Chicago. I watched Chicago, you know, downtown Chicago. I was staying downtown Chicago at the time. I was sitting. I came outside to make sure nobody fucked with my car as I'm watching people walking down the streets with liquor bottles, with brooms, with stuff that they're stealing from things that's in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm seeing this, and it's like, yo, I'm spending $2,000 to live down here in a one bedroom apartment. And I gotta worry about what's going on outside. You know, that's, to me, I shouldn't have to do that. But at the same time, undoubtedly, them storming the Capitol was insane. But it's just as insane that we tore up our communities.
But that's what
so
I'm
again,
saying.
we're in a situation. We're in a situation as to where neither one of these wrongs are right.
Exactly.
But yet we justify it depending on what side it is that we're on, instead of just calling a spade a spade. The BLM riots did not do a justification to our communities. Chicago, I can only speak on Chicago because I'm from there. Chicago, Walmart's closed, Walmart's left the hood because people was running in them and looting.
But that's the thing. You gotta realize that's two different instances. There were people marching and there were people looting. Most of the people
which one is going to impact the communities that we live in more?
Right, the looting.
People looting or people marching.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So we can't categorize the marching like that's the BLM movement. That looting, that was just people trying to get free shit at the end of the day. They
Which
figured,
is a
you know
problem,
what, they all out there stealing, let me go
justified
too.
It's a problem, but we justified it.
I feel you, but
even for people
here, we don't see race, we don't see color, we don't see any of that. In Philly, like everybody, you just do what you do. So even during the looting and everything, there were black people out there, there were white people out there, there were Spanish people, there were Asians of every sort. Even when they stormed the Capitol, when they went and they did the same exact thing. Here, they did the same exact thing. Everything got taken down. Whether you was in the hood, whether it was downtown, whether it was in the suburbs, everything got taken down. And it didn't matter who did it. You get what I'm saying?
But that's why people calling you white supremacy, white wash, because that white lady didn't say that too when she was talking about taking her country back to the talking about the autistic black boy. She talked to a little autistic. What What does he have to do with taking your country back? And don't act like we're not the only ones undisciplined, because that's just what they publicize and put on the media. The white people just as undisciplined as us. If you look at their communities, their lower class and middle class communities, they're filled with drugs. When I looked into this rehab place, from 18 to 25, all of their kids in the middle and lower class, most of them that's enduring the hardships that we're enduring is in drugs. You know what I'm saying? So by them to say, oh, we're taking America back by making Black people more disciplined. They ain't worried about making their people more disciplined. They ain't worried about their people taking up public aid because they thought it was mostly Black people, but come to find out it's really mostly white people. They ain't talking about that. They just talking about making sure that the Black people stay in order while we get to do whatever the F we want to do. Because why are you saying that to a child? That's what I'm saying. And then another thing, her actions are clearly racially motivated, regardless if our support was racially motivated or not, which I would think by the way you're speaking, I would think you would think like, oh, I'm glad my Black community is on the finally, on the same page. But we knew his actions were not racially motivated. That's the difference. Why are you supporting somebody whose actions are clearly racially motivated while we're supporting somebody who we just want to make sure that he gets the great representation? Now with that $400K, if he gets if he get put in jail because he's wrong, now we know, okay, this is well deserved. He had the correct representation. They did their homework. He made sure he had the funds to do their homework. So guess what? If he goes to jail, I'm not going to be mad, because I do feel like justice should be served regardless of your skin color. The difference is this situation, racially motivated, what he did, you don't know if that boy really felt like his life was threatened or not. I don't feel like his actions and his crime was racially motivated.